Welcome to the Social Media Church podcast. My name is Jay Cranda, and I'm brought to you from the beyond. My co-host, Neil Smith, is joining me.
I'm in the dark today. For those that are watching on video, we are both kind of in remote locations today, and so we're having fun. Jay, it's good. It's good. We've had some fun guests recently, but it's good for it just to be you and I.
I know it was really fun with Van and Justin. We want to thank them, and we had a huge show. We had tons of people. It was one of our bigger shows in the last couple weeks, and so it was so much fun. I was just telling them, they were sharing stuff on Twitter, and I'm still laughing at some of the things Justin was saying about Snapchat.
Yeah.
So if you haven't listened to that, go back. It was our last show, I think 161. So check that out. But with that, I know we got so much going on, but we wanted to just give a little bit of an update. One thing I wanted to share, and I know you got some stuff to share on this too, is on VR. So at Saddleback, we've been, we purchased a GoPro set deal that can hold 6 GoPros, and then it comes with software that stitches the 6 GoPros together. And so we had a shoot last week where we shot a 2-minute video as a test thing. So the way we're doing it is that we bought this set and the software, which I think total was $1,300. It came with just a holder and then the software. And then right now what we do is that we rent 6 GoPros. So I think we can rent a GoPro for $50. And so that's what we do. We rent them online. And what happened was we did it, and we between me and the video crew, we were kind of confused if we were to shoot it widescreen, wide on the GoPros, or tight. And anyways, we shot it 2 different ways. And then I got an email from our video team, and they said, yeah, actually, we didn't shoot it right. And so we have to go back and shoot it again. But he said that now we know what to do. But it was one of those things that you're kind of we had no idea. I had no idea. We're sitting in the room, and it didn't come with the instructions on the GoPro. And that was part of it. We had decided up front that, this was a shoot. So we want to capture a service in VR and 360. And the idea though of doing something like that was to weed out these issues. And so I wanted to share, we're kind of okay, how do we figure that out? I was really excited to upload it to YouTube and our Facebook page, since Facebook does 360 now.
Yeah.
But it was just okay, let's do it again. It's going to cost another, $350 or whatever to rent, but small losses, short term.
Yeah. So we, we're so excited about VR at CBC as well. I think just even from a trend standpoint, this is not it's not just a flashy new technology. I think this really is a peek into the future. GoPro, I recently read, and I wish I had, the exact news on it, but recently acquired a virtual reality company in Europe. So you can see them as a company investing in that direction. Our guy that we're always watching, Gary Vaynerchuk, is always talking about 360 video. So we tried to jump into the space as well. We bought a Ricoh Theta camera, which is almost I would compare it to flip cams back in the day. So that's kind of the way to get, basic video easily onto your computer. So Ricoh Theta is about $400. It looks like a flip cam. It's a little small, little hand cam. The challenge we're having is it shoots, you get about 45 minutes worth of video on the camera. It's not as high quality as you're going to get with GoPros. Yeah. But it's decent. The challenge we're getting is, for whatever reason, when we try to convert the video from the device to the computer, it flips it sideways. And so we can't actually get a good video that we can put up yet. And so it's just, there's the learning curve is so challenging on it. And we're hearing that a lot of people are having the same issues. And there's just not, it's so early in this game.
Yeah.
But we also believe that getting there early is going to catch more eyeballs, catch more attention. It's going to help us just be that much further ahead. So the space is going to grow fast. The devices out there, the hardware, the software, everything around 360 video, virtual reality is only going to continue to grow.
And I wanted to, this is so funny because we went into our studio where we shot this deal, and our video was the idea we were going to share like what the online campus is about and kind of like, what do you think about this video? And so we had some fun, but I first made my pitch, and we have a really cool video team. And they've been very supportive of this, but I made a pitch of what I wanted. And I kind of was like, this is what I was thinking. And, Braven, one of the video guys, was kind of like, he said, well, that's an okay idea, but this is 360. Like, you got to do something more creative. And I was like laughing. I was like, okay, like, what are you thinking? And we had fun where like I was like on shot, and I was like, well, here, we're going to shoot this video. And I went off to the side and grabbed 2 shirts. And I was like, normally you wouldn't be able to see this. And I went down here. I said, check this out down here. And then back behind me, one of the guys, Braven, does a backflip. And I said, did you see that? If you didn't see that, you need to go back. And so we had fun with it, but it was even a video team. And I maybe I was tweeting with somebody, maybe I was tweeting with Alan or somebody from Life Church. And I was like saying something about like the storytelling aspect of 360. Like, I still don't get it. Like, I don't know how to leverage that. Like, why would somebody watch 360 instead of, not why, I know why, because it's cool, and it's interactive, but like, how do we have to tell the story different in 360? So, I think about even something like this. I have a light on me right now, and I'm actually in my living room right now. And so like, I don't like 360, like you're going to see like kids' toys and, projects from last night. So, you know what I mean? So it's just weird to tell a story.
I think that's the virtual side of this though, is that it feels more like you're there. So right now you're letting us see the part you want us to see. When it comes to virtual reality, we get to see what we want to see, not what you want us to see. And I think that's the unique presence of the virtual experience, is you choose your own experience. You choose what you look at. You choose kind of where you're paying attention. Just like from a church standpoint, just like if you're in the worship center, you can choose to look at the pastor, you can choose to look at the screens, or you can choose to look at the person next to you. And so that's your choice in your experiences. I think virtual reality kind of provides that as if you're there with them, which is really unique. But I think until we start doing it, I think our minds it's going to be hard for us to really wrap our minds around it.
Yeah.
It's definitely be interesting.
Hey, I wanted to highlight real quick, like this is our commercial break. We got Alec from Northview Church shipped me some, because I'm always drinking cold brew coffee. I want to say that very clear, cold brew coffee. He shipped me some of his home roasted here. Well, roasted home indie coffee roasters coffee. And so if you're on YouTube, you can see this sweet. He sent me buttons. He sent me everything. He's legit. Like I knew this because we met him at last year at iMinistry. And so go to indiecoffeeroasters.com. I've been drinking it all week. It is delicious, and we have amazing community of people who watch and listen to the show. They're not going to watch it because you're in the dark now. But I just wanted to. That's my commercial break right there.
A big commercial. Let's do a couple more commercials let's talk about Social Media Church. So we have the new blog that we've made available, and I love how this community, we've made a lot of adjustments, as we inherited the podcast a little over a year ago. And now, we're kind of get more guests on, more people involved in the podcast. We've expanded now to a blog, social media pastor, David Hearn, SocialMediaPastor.com. That's a plug for David's blog or his website. But he's now driving, our blog. We've got some great, Jason Caston's written for it. Dave Adamson, I think Kenny Jang is writing for it. So we've got some great contributors there. We want to make everybody aware of the blog. Just go to SocialMedia.Church, check out the blog. If you want to be a contributor, we'd love for you to write for the blog as well. And so reach out to David. I think his contact is there on the site to reach out to him.
Yeah, or use the hashtag SMC podcast on Twitter, and we'll get back to you. But yeah, he's killing it, man. I love it. I know what's sweet is he's got such a heart for the church, and I know he's in this new phase where he's doing EMT stuff, and so he's been busy. It's funny to watch him on. He posted this if you become a writer, you will see what he's doing. He's like vlogging, and he's posting stuff. He's great. So anyway, I'm so pumped to have him on the team.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Well, and then our other friend, as we're doing commercials, DJ Chuang, who was the original creator of Social Media Church, is getting really close to releasing the .Bible URL or top level domain. And so if you're not aware of that release, I've got my eye on several domains as that releases in the next month and opens up. And so we're going to have DJ on soon. We're going to have a release party for that top level domain. He's been working on that for 2.5 years. And so this is a big moment for him, for American Bible Society, and really for so many ministries out there to grab those domains.
Well, I did also wanted to say thank you for everybody who bought our Snapchat course. I mean, we just had a really cool group of people who came out and supported the Snapchat course, regardless of Justin Dean thinks about Snapchat. Actually, I want to go back and get that clip at the end where we recommend it to him.
Yeah.
But, just thank you. I mean, we shot a 3-part video course. I mean, we're only selling it for the next week for $5. And so we had fun. If you don't know anything about Snapchat, that's it. But the university stuff, if you go to SocialMedia.Church, you'll see it. It's something university. We're going there. And we would love personally, if there's a course that you want, shout that out to us. Send it to us on Twitter at SMC Podcast. If there's something you want us to do a course on, give us recommendations. So anyways, I just wanted to say that before.
Are there what tips? So you keep digging in, both of us keep playing with Snapchat more and more. What tips are you seeing on Snapchat that you'd recommend right now? Maybe one to church leaders.
Yeah. So I think actually, so I've been video blogging. I've done, I think 3 or 4 where I've tried it out. I always have to struggle with writing. My personality doesn't always come through. And so it's just tough. Writing's tough. I mean, you either got that skill or you don't. And so I kind of can fake it to a point. But with that, I snapped for 7 days for my job. I was doing kind of this inside view of my role.
Yeah.
And I vlogged about it. And I, something that I realized over that 7 days that I share in my vlog is this idea of it just makes you want to post more often. It's kind of addictive.
Yeah.
And in the sense, because it's so easy to send stuff out, and because you don't see a historical archive of it, you don't feel like you overposted.
Yeah.
And because everything just expires, it expires. I personally love it. I love the idea that you can snap and draw on video and text on video, write stuff and save it to your phone. I think it's such a great kind of, it's not a video editor because you can't edit on there, but I think it's a good way to take fun video and post it. And you got to be careful because it is portrait, and so it doesn't translate well to other platforms. You can't really upload it to YouTube without the black bars. But I think it's a fun way. Last night I was with my kids, and my wife and her friend were getting ready for something, and they were preparing. So we're joking around we're in the bedroom, and my kids are joking around on the bed. And I was able to take a quick video of my son goofing around, and I was able to write text on it. And it was such an easy, seamless thing, let alone it's just so personal. I don't feel like I got to curate anything. I could just post it. And so I love it. I mean, I'm still messing around. I don't know what it is. I mean, I think I get 45, 50 people who see my snaps. So to me, I don't know if that's good or not. You know what I mean? Friends of mine that are, not friends, kids that are 17, 16, they're getting 100, you know what I mean? But all their friends are on it. So it's just such a weird thing, but I really love it. I really love it.
I think it keeps growing, and I think the engagement and the more people are intentional with it. 2 things that I see as opportunities for churches. One, I think, and you're doing this personally. Gary Vee's doing this. A lot of people are doing this. They're using their profile pic in different social media platforms to use their little Snapchat screenshot this image, and add me on Snapchat. Making people aware that you're on Snapchat. I think most people will assume that your church is not on Snapchat.
Yeah.
And it's not like social media icons you can just put on your website. Snapchat just works so uniquely. So making people aware. in that way on the other social media platforms is a great opportunity. And then I would say, if you're like, I don't even know what to Snapchat your weekend experience. So your Sunday morning of, look, the band's warming up, people are showing up, we're drinking coffee, we're worshiping together. All right, everybody, we're wrapping up for the day, have a good weekend, everybody. I think if you just even do, or like, look at the kids gathering here. If you have somebody who can just kind of snap story your weekend experience, that too just gives a window for other people that are following your Snapchat into what your weekend is like. I think it's a good place to start. It's an easy initial way to get started on Snapchat. So I love seeing the platform develop. Yeah. It's still confusing. And the UI, I'm with Justin. It's not intuitive, but you figure it out and you're doing it. And so, but our course, I learned, Jay, it's funny as people go through the course, and you were doing a lot of the teaching on there. I was learning as we were going. I was like, oh, I didn't even know about that. And because there are so many like features that you just intuitively don't know about.
Yeah, I shared last week joking around that a friend's daughter was asking me, why are you on Snapchat? Like kind of saying that I was too old. And when I was asking something I didn't get was the different icons. When you send snaps and receive, next to your friends, you have different emoticons or whatever. And like, I was like, what are these things? And she was like, she said such a stern, kind of straightforward voice, was just like, well, you can go here and you can find out what they mean. And I was like, well, that's not explained in here. Like, don't say it that way. Like, it's a confusing platform. And so, but anyways, first off, you can listen to the show now on Google Play, right?
Yeah, that was exciting. I mean, Jay, you pushed us onto some other Stitcher, I guess.
Stitcher and SoundCloud,
SoundCloud. And then Jason Caston said, hey, you can put it on Google Play as well. And so my assistant, Christina, got us set up there. And so it's awesome that we're now available on Google Play. There's so many platforms, as an iPhone user, iTunes is just intuitive for me and my go-to, but it's good to learn about these other platforms. It's fun to watch how we've learned so much about podcasting. I mean, one, I would say I didn't realize how easy it was. Now I'm realizing how complicated it can be too, because there are so many moving parts, learning about Libsyn, learning about microphones, learning, about video even and how that works or doesn't work. There's a lot of moving parts. So it's cool to, Google Play is now another platform, but as churches have to understand this. Podcasting is a big part of a church's media experience. And so don't just put it on iTunes. Push it out to Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play. There's probably more that we're not yet aware of, and I'm eager to see what the stats show us. But we see, we continue to see just an uptick in our listeners and more and more engagement and just the consistency of doing it. It's been fun to see. So Jay, one of the debates that you and I are having is now moving to video. And so whether we do a video podcast on iTunes, we see Apple TV now has podcasting. To be honest, let's talk about it. Honestly, it's a financial choice. So we pay about $20 a month on Libsyn for our audio podcast. It's going to jump to about $75 a month for video. Yeah. It's not a huge expense, but it is an expense, and we donate our time. We don't make money on this. This is not our jobs. This is something that we kind of give back through this podcast. $50 is not a crazy expense, but it is an expense. Yeah, nobody's going to watch it, and so. Kind of what are your thoughts as we debate about the video podcast?
Yeah. I mean, obviously it was sparked from Apple TV releases the podcast app. And then it kind of in my head, I was like, well, I wonder if that's going to change anything for churches on how, if they choose to do video podcasts. So obviously for us, we have this platform. And so what would it look like? And so it brings up a couple things about, like audio's kind of, personally, we just love audio because we never know with video, like we're so on the go that we can't really guarantee the quality of video. Like right now I'm able to do this because, we're recording early on a Thursday. So my kids are down and I was able to put up a light and I can have somewhat of a quality. Obviously you're on the go right now and it's a little harder to do that. So I kind of get worried about the quality, and I just feel like my gut is, I personally don't watch any video podcasts, so I only do audio. So I'm so swayed. Like I typically have it. What I like about it is I just put stuff on and I'm working or I'm on the go or I'm driving or I plug it in, while I'm driving. And so I kind of I don't personally see it enough to say, oh, that's worth it. And so that's why I'm still a little hesitant. I kind of want to see what happens.
Yeah. And it's a time commitment. I mean, so there's the financial commitment of $50, but it's a time commitment of distributing the podcast one other place and making sure it gets there and processing it. And so we'll see. You know, I have a feeling we'll do it in the future. You know, we want to take this content and distribute it far out. You know, we push the videos to YouTube and put a lot of them on Facebook, and we're investing some time in video editing to cut clips out of them. And so we'll see where that goes, but it'll be an interesting trend. Let's talk a little bit. Let's continue on the same path. So a lot of our intentionality has to do with Apple TV developments and podcasting moved to Apple TV. You and I have been working so hard in the background, and we talked about it a lot on the show. It seems to be moving slow. We know how hard we're working.
Yeah.
Really, in theory, not in theory. I mean, technology, the complexity of the technology that's being created is so huge. And we didn't realize that going into this. We didn't realize how big of a deal this is to build an Apple TV app that's scalable to, you know, hundreds or thousands of churches using it. What you want to kind of share with an update with where we are with TV app?
Yeah. It's been so fun. I mean, there's a lot of conversations that we're having that I didn't think we would be having so quickly. And it's kind of, you know, we're starting a company. I mean, that's really what it is. And so there's so much between, I mean, we'll probably talk about this at another time, but we had equity questions and conversations. We had, you know, expenses. You know, I did a forecast for 3 years. I mean, there's so many cool things there. But with that, part of it is that we want to deliver, the MVP, the minimal viable product for March 1st. And so we want to thank everybody who signed up. You know, we've had tons of churches interested. More than tons, about 70 churches that were interested in being part of the launch. And we just did this week, we've already done our first demo. We have 2 churches that we've selected to be beta for launch, meaning that we're going to launch and we're going to learn in some of that. But oh my gosh, I wish I could sit here and we will. But the idea that now we've built a platform that if you have a Video Pro account, a Vimeo Pro account, and using collections and channels on Vimeo, you can import automatically and create an Apple TV is crazy. I mean, it's like, and I don't think those who are new to this, like I talked to a company that created our Roku, and they wanted $35,000 to create our Apple TV. Then they wanted 10% of that every year to maintain it. And so what we want to do is not what we are doing. We are doing this, like it's real. We have created a way that for the first 10 churches, it's $3,000 and $100 a month. $3,000, you have an Apple TV and $100 a month, and we're creating an interactive way. And this is the thing, is that it's not a static product. The things we're dreaming about, and we're talking about VR, we're talking about all this stuff. And so it's been such a learning, and we will, we're launching in March. If you want to be part of the first 10 churches, let us know. It goes up only by $2,000. It goes up to $5,100 a month for the next, I think 20 churches. And so go to TVapp..church to sign up. We are going to be releasing some specialty video and releases there, and we're going to be setting up dates in March for the launch. But it's crazy. One thing I would be interested to hear from our listeners is we are treating this very much as a membership, less of a one-time. So the idea is that you pay a one-time fee to enter in, and it's $100 a month. And the idea is that you'll get Apple TV, and very quickly after, we're going to release Roku or Amazon Fire. And so the idea, it's a one-time fee. So instead of paying $100,000 for 3 apps, you pay for access for one platform, which is linked to your Vimeo Pro account, that will feed 3, 4, 5 apps as we build out. And so it's pumped. But I would be curious, we're starting with Apple TV, but would somebody, what would the listeners think? Should we build Roku next, Amazon Fire next, or is there something else? Because this is very much, we're going to empower our community through surveys and stuff. Like, what do you want? Prioritize what to build, because this is not a static thing. So I can't tell you the conversation. I wish we could talk more about our conversations that we're having But it's so much fun.
Yeah, and I think we will. I mean, so the players that, kind of in the space with us, Ed Bond is our developer, and he's really kind of the lead stakeholder in all of this. Just one of the sharpest minds in technology, and we feel so grateful to really be able to partner with him. And so as you and I really had this passion to say, how can we get churches on Apple TV in an affordable way? I kind of threw it out there to Ed, knowing he's busy. I mean, the guy is so busy, and he makes a lot more money doing things outside the church. And basically, like, you donate, your time to something that we believe can work, and we believe we can build a business. But it's about creating great technology for the church. And he's like, man, I'm in. And so, but we wanted to be legit about this and build something that's going to last, both from a technology standpoint and a business standpoint. And so it's been a fun journey, and even our hearts and just praying together. But learning, you and I are learning a lot about technology. Chris Tripudi, is also a part of the company and really working on the user interface and the design of things. I mean, I think it's going to be just a beautiful platform. The technology the church is not getting the leftovers in technology. The church is getting the best in the technology. I believe these church apps are going to be the best ones you see on the App Store, on your Apple TV and on Roku and Amazon TV. We're live streaming. We're planning on that being a second feature. Well, that's probably going to be right there to launch, even because the development is moving so quickly. I'm so thrilled about where that's going. Even if you say, I want to get down on the road, go to TVapp..church, get on the email list so that you can make sure you're up to date on the news and information. The prices are going to vary. So we're kind of like, the first churches are going to get in, they're going to have a lower monthly price, but a higher front end cost. But it's really going to be kind of a membership of you pay their monthly rate, but you get all new updates. If, once we add Roku, every church gets Roku, every church gets Amazon TV. And as the space matures and develops, we're going to mature and develop with it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think the hardest thing, you build it one time is one thing, but that's the thing. Added features. I mean, again, I think we paid $12,000 for a Roku a couple of years ago. Yeah. And it's like, we are trying to slash that, because what we want is that we want all churches to be able to get on. And it's not only that. I think what we will be doing with the show and with the platforms is training churches in some capacity about how you can go next level. You can use the living room as an added place to do training. So you grow your venues overnight. And so the idea, it's not just about getting on there and delivering content. It's about using it as a training ground in so many different ways, and going to millennials and so forth, not waiting for them to come here. So you get the platform, then you have to leverage the platform. You have to create content for that platform. There's steps there, but the idea here is, like, instead of paying $100K, we're going to knock it down to 5,000. And so we're trying to make it an easier cost of entry. The other thing is, we want to create features that we want to use. We want VR, and we don't know what that looks like. And we know if the church has to pay for it right now, it'd be crazy. And so part of it is we got to build some things in order to get there. Yeah. So, but we get excited about all these things. I know data is one thing. Like our Amazon Fire TV app that Saddleback has, I have no data. So I'm like, hey, if we build an Amazon Fire, could we get good data? And it's like, yeah, we can, and so it's fun to be in there to kind of leverage the type of things that we want in our own apps, but have it in this. And so we're kind of, we're trying to build the dream app so we can switch, and so, part of it is that we've already paid for it and it's up. So we're dealing with our own issues, but trust me, go to TVapp.church. Go there. I want to say, go to SocialMedia.Church, check out the blog, check out our university by going to SocialMedia.Church. We have our basics course, and we have the Snapchat course. So we want to thank everybody for listeners. Thank you, Alec. Go to indiecoffeeroasters.com and use the hashtag SMC podcast. Thanks so much for listening this week and watching Nils in the Dark.